Well, thank you so much for helping with
So
my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
yes, it's for me also a wonderful opportunity. So I start. Okay.
Yes, tell me about yourself.
Myself, Triloki Varshney. I am a lifelong space nerd. I'm in NASA's Lucy program. I have honored in astronomy and astrophysics. Also, I participated in several international level competitions such as the International Astronomy Astrophysics Competition, Global Astronomy Competition, NASA Summer Second, uh, and International Space Station Kaibo RPC. Also, I participated in various conferences, quizathons such as gravitational waves and black holes quizathon, uh, young scientist internship, and so on. I'm a citizen scientist astronaut candidate and and planning for higher studies for my PhD. And thank you so much for inviting me. That's my introduction.
Do you remember when you first got interested in space?
Sorry.
Do you remember how old you were when you first got interested in space?
I am interested since childhood. My hobby is space science. When I was in childhood, then I read comic books. I see night sky daily, and this is also a great chance for today. Like C/slash 2023 P1 comet is visible today, and there's a great chance to capture. So I also look in the night sky today. And my
And
favorite book is A Brief History of Black Holes that I have read, written by Dr. Becky Mathis, and also A Year in Space Lifetime Discovery by Scott Kelly.
those are awesome books. Did you get interested in space by yourself, or did you have like a family member or a friend or some event
No,
that got you started?
I'm interested. Yes, yes. No, I'm interested by self. When I was in high school, then I have done a project named on the TEBI star, KIC 8462852 star. So I'm interested since childhood. In short,
What do you
I'm
think
lifelong
about that?
space nerd.
What do you think about Tabby Star? You think evidence of another civilization, or do you think some type of naturally occurring phenomenon?
Actually, there are a lot of stars which I've classified into various categories like OAB, GFKM stars, and TEBI star is also a star which is famous for its mysteries. Like it have a special boundary. There is a chance of red shifted like Sheffield variable stars and so on. So this star is also a very special case. This star is does not emit any kind of light such as infrared and so on. Any kind of wavelength it does not emitted by this star. So it is this star is something different, such as
That
Sheffield variable stars.
that is interesting.
Your background is also
I mean,
yes,
it's like,
yes,
you know, I mean, how many stars are there? It's like billions and billions and billions, and you know, it's
yes,
like
yes.
there's so much to be known about each one.
Yes, and now these days Hope experiment is also going on by the NASA's by the ISRO Chandrayaan 3
Yeah, it's
in
amazing.
1967. Yes, in 1967 this experiment is done by only NASA through Soviet 6, and now in 2023 after a decade this experiment is going to perform again by Chandrayaan 3 team
And what
in the
experiment is
coming
that?
month in these month also.
Yeah, what can you tell
Hope
me more
experiment,
about it?
it is actually Hope experiment is an experiment which collect the data on the South Pole. So, like like India and the NASA, they all are perform this experiment. Due to this through this experiment, uh, we have collected the data, and in 1970s, NASA have sent the Apollo 11 astronauts to the moon. So, this experiment is also helpful to land the spacecraft on the South Pole. And
Hmm.
South Pole is very interesting. Helium-3 is present on the surface, so it is very special place on the moon. because there are a lot of craters also present in there. Water is there, and helium-3, which is very important substance for the uh, future and energy conservation.
Now, since you mentioned the moon, did you know that NASA is planning to send astronauts back to the moon?
Back to the moon. Yeah, NASA is sending astronauts to the moon, and the mission is Artemis 3 mission. Artemis 1 has already performed, and now in 2025 or maybe 2026, Artemis 3 mission will be performed.
Would,
So
would you
India is also going to send a spacecraft on the moon.
Oh, that's awesome. Would you believe most of the people I talk to don't know that we're sending astronauts back to the moon? Most people have no idea. I was wondering, of your family and friends, how many of them know about space like you do?
In my family, there is no scientist. I am citizen scientist astronaut candidate, have selected for going to space. But in last round, I was also there. But in my family, in my background, there is no one scientist. I'm the first one. So it is a very good opportunity for me that my parents have chance to study and make us not science. I in one day I'll want to make a NASA scientist. So I'm planning for my PhD and going on.
That's
Just
amazing.
move, just going to plan in US in 2024.
I when you come, please reach out to me. If you come to Houston, I'd love to meet up.
Yeah, I'll text you definitely. Currently, I have something my visa issues, so I'll come in 2024.
Which part of India are you in?
I live in Ladpur, Hathras, Uttar Pradesh, India. Ladpur, Hathras.
Uttar
It's a
Pradesh.
city, Ladpur.
Yeah.
Hathras, Uttar
Is
Pradesh,
that
in a state.
is that like southwest India or
No,
like
south. It's in north,
it's in north? Uttar Pradesh.
northern hemisphere. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I,
awesome. I've been to Mumbai a couple of times and then Bangalore one time. So, and I went to Ujjain
yes.
also. So,
Today is the very today. Don't miss the C/2023 P1 comet. It is very important. If you miss, then in next century, till next century, it will never, never orbit the sun.
what
It
time?
means a
How?
comet will orbit the sun, but it takes billions of years. Yeah.
Oh, is it just after sunset or just before sunrise? When's the best time to see it?
Uh, yeah. After sunset in night sky, you check in at 1 p.m. or 12. That it will
I
1
see.
a.m. or 2 a.m. It depends. If night sky is clear, then you can find out. Otherwise, you can see through binoculars or telescopes. There's the only option.
Oh, you have to
Because
have
yesterday I
magnification.
have checked, but yeah,
Okay. Hmm.
yesterday
Oh,
I
oh,
yes,
go ahead.
yes,
No, no,
please.
you go.
No, no. Yesterday I have checked to observe the C/2023 P1 comet, but unable to observe because of the night sky. Night sky was not clear yesterday. So,
Yeah, I mean, you got clouds, city
and
lights, the moon.
yeah, air pollution, light pollution. There are a lot of things. Sometimes these things did not capture through naked eyes.
Hmm. Um, what
Yeah.
do you think about us going back to the moon? Is it something that excites you, or how do you feel about it?
As a space nerd, it excites me a lot because when you move on the moon, astronauts will send on the moon, especially on the South Pole. Then there are a lot of things to explore on the South Pole, like helium-3, some craters. ISRO is also currently sending these data, but at some time NASA will also send. So these things, I think these things will me a lot. I'm trying to just make astronauts one day and go to the moon. Definitely. So this is very special for me.
Do you think
like
you'll get
Psyche
that chance in
missions,
your
NASA
do
Human
you think
Exploration Rover Challenge.
do you think you'll get the chance to go to the moon in your lifetime?
I don't know I'll get the chance or not, but I'll try my best. That's the only thing. I'll try my best. But in future, I'll get the chance or not. I cannot assure you, because in 2017 there are a lot of astronauts. There are a lot of candidates applied for the astronauts training, but only few thousand selected. I think in 20, if 17,000 astronauts have applied in 2017, then almost 22,000 something selected. There are less chance to select the astronauts training, because a lot of candidates applied for that. If you are overqualified, means if you have a PhD and a very good high experience, then it may be there's a chance to select. And in the uh, during the training, there are a lot of things like some experiments will be performed,
Hmm.
some, which is a part of the training. And if you just disqualify, if you're not able to qualify, if you're not able to perform, then this is not going to be happening. So there's a very
It
less
is.
chance to uh, selected finally for the astronauts. For example, if you are selected for going to space as astronaut, then this can only happen that you have not chance to go to the another celestial object like moon. Maybe
Hmm.
you are on the earth, or to manage the data or something. There are a lot of things.
When you think
So if
about
someone can, so this is not a guarantee that if you selected for going to space, then you will go. It may be chance that you are on the some other place to manage the astronauts, to perform the maneuver and so on. And
yeah,
T38 is also the essential thing. If you want to if you want to fly T38, then this is a basic thing. So this is a qualifying round. T38 is a qualifying round, and A bearing flow training, which is a part of this after now in second phase. KC-135. There are a lot of things.
hmm.
During KC-135, astronauts have to experience in the zero gravity, like astronauts vomit and so on. So during these training, astronauts just adapt to the zero gravity environment, so they can go to International Space Station. In 2025, I think India is planning to send a astronaut to the International Space Station. Maybe 2025 or 2026, whenever.
That'd be
There are a lot of,
wonderful.
yeah, space race is going on. Hundreds of country, almost every country is trying to send the moon and Mars. There are probes and astronauts these days. Luna 25 is paid, as everyone knows. The performer, the maneuver had not performed in the last time because of some emergency, as the report said.
Now, when you think where the space race may lead us and all of this interest and investment in space, and you fast forward it, say, like 200 years in the future, what do you think it looks like in 200 years?
Yes, yeah. In 20, though no one knows what will happen in future, but as artificial intelligence is growing a lot, then there's a chance. Then in future, maybe we will adopt new technologies. We will adopt new technologies, and sometime maybe it also possible that we will transfer our consciousness into something machine, so we can immortal. This is also happen, as Penrose said, Professor Penrose. I know this thing is superstitial this time, but in future this can also be happen. There are a lot of probabilities, possibilities, hundreds of possibilities also there. So no one knows exactly, but it this thing will happen, that we will be multi-planetary, and we'll go in different celestial objects like moon, Venus, Mars. Maybe
Hmm.
200 years, 100 years, whatever the time, if human civilization will exist, because no one knows.
Now,
Maybe the war.
you want to be an astronaut and go into space. But how far
Yes.
would you be willing to go? Obviously to orbit. And you said you want to take a trip to the moon, but let's say they start a Mars colony and they're looking for people to come and live there forever. Is that something you'd consider doing?
Yes.
And what
But
if?
in that
Oh,
case,
go ahead.
there's a money factor. Yes. In that case, there is a factor of money, because now these days people can go to space, but they can go by money. For example, if you have a lot of money, then you can buy the ticket through of zero gravity and go, can experience of KC-135. But if a person have not money, then they cannot. So this is the problem, I think. If you have money, then you can go easily in space, but everyone cannot afford. So I think in future, space cost can be minimized through technologies. International Space Station will retire in 2031. So every country is planning to launch their International Space Station. For example, India, China, USA, etc. So who is send the who will send the International Space Station? Just they can maintain. For example, USA, India, whatever the country will or try to fix the International Space Station. So they have a chance to maintain everything, like their fossil fuel, for example, for example, helium-3. These kind of fuels are very important. So through the International Space Station, there are a lot of things. And the cost is also important for the, because around 3 to 4 billion years year, uh, 3 to 4 billion years, NASA spend this cost to International Space Station. So uh, there's a problem. Around hundreds of millions dollars uh, have been invested to the space every year. So money factor is also considerable. In future, if you just make the things less costly, so everyone can just uh, can manage, can take them, then there's a chance to, so we can everyone can go into space. Otherwise, few selected candidates can go, like this thing happen in nowadays.
That's true. That's true. Of course, 100 years, even if you had money, you couldn't go to space. So, uh,
Yes,
it's
if you
difficult
have
getting the
money, you
money.
can purchase the ticket.
But
You
a
can
hundred
purchase the
years
ticket of
ago,
zero G gravity.
yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Um,
SpaceX is also
well,
ready. There are a lot of companies are ready to take you in space now these days. But money, they demand a lot of money. If you just fulfill their demand, they can go you in space.
now to get to
For
another
travel.
star system, it would take hundreds of years of travel to go to another star to see
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
these exoplanets.
yeah. This is
And
also a problem. Yes,
and
this
right now we think
is also a problem, because
you
you
can't go
cannot go
faster than the
as fast
speed
as
of
speed
light,
of light.
right? But you could build a ship that went slowly to another star, and it may take hundreds of years of travel. And so the people that leave are not the people that arrive. In fact, it's not even their children or grandchildren or great grandchildren, but their great great grandchildren might be the ones that actually arrive at the other planet.
Yes.
Would you consider being part of such a mission like that?
I want to make a part of this mission, but I cannot assure you, because there is a lot of chances. For example, a family is not ready to take you, because if you just go into such type of mission, then it means you will never return. Your
Hmm.
children or your and future generations will perform this mission, and it can also be happen that future generations will not perform this mission. There's a kind of some problem there, some technological problems. So this thing is a hypothetical till now. But yeah, in comic books, these type of missions have been talked.
Absolutely. Well, It was a pleasure to get to talk to you, and that was the questions I had. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about, or any questions for me?
I have not much questions. Like if I am also I also want to go space right now, but I have not much money to spend the zero gravity ticket. So this is the question that somebody just make the space race easily, so space tourism can afford everyone. So this is the problem. Like if you can suggest something for the same.
I mean, I think the key is reducing launch costs. And I think SpaceX, with their Starship and Super Heavy that they're building in Boca Chica, Texas, a Starbase, is going to be the key to bringing down those costs. And so if they're successful there, being able to use the same spacecraft multiple times per day, and then also manufacturing 2 or 3 of them a week, and then you have literally hundreds of spacecraft flying every single day, I think that will
Yes,
bring
in Earth to
down the
orbit.
cost. That will bring down
Yes,
the cost.
in LEO Earth low orbit, more than 1 crore celestial objects are there, satellites, and in every these days some spacecraft or probe have been sent into Earth low orbit. For example, NASA SpaceX 27 mission is also just happened. International Space Station was there. So this is also a problem. Space junk.
It's true. It's true. And I think people, whenever they
These
think of
celestial
space
objects
junk,
also collide.
I think whenever people think of space junk,
These
they think
celestial
of
objects.
they think of like picking up trash off the side of the road or off a beach and stuff. But instead, it's more like trying to clean up a battlefield in the middle of a war, because all these objects are moving so fast. It's very difficult to actually clean them up.
Yes. Anything else?
No,
Thank
that's
you
it.
for giving
Thank
me
you
the
so
time.
much. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and Aapse milkar bahat khushi hui.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
bye bye.